Are you ready, podcast? Time to demonstrate. Rachelle, Logan, the etiquette queen, teaching us all how to thrive in the scene. Etiquette queen, she's on the scene. Professional development, living the dream. Public speaking, bridging the gap. Success is a journey, ain't no looking back. Knowledge is power, that's the truth. Learning from the best.
Greetings. This is Lady Rachelle of the Are You Ready show. Welcome back. I know a lot of you invest, or at least you think about investing, but you really never understand what that really means. I've been investing for a couple years now, thanks to my husband, who is really knowledgeable about a lot of investing. So he is actually teaching me what I need to know. Unfortunately, everyone doesn't have someone like I have that can help them find the right stocks and know about investing. Fortunately for my guest today, I have a special guest here to discuss investing and stocks. His name is Claude. Claude is my neighbor, and we've talked briefly about some stocks and stuff when he first moved here. But let me give you a little bit of history about Claude. Claude is from Mount Vernon, New York, and he now lives in Charlotte, or, this area. He's a proud husband and father of two boys. He went to the University of New York at Albany for undergrad in accounting and St. John's University for a master's in taxation. He is now a New York and North Carolina certified public accountant. Claude worked over 20 years at Deloitte Tax LLP, where he is a tax managing director, primarily focused on asset management and real estate. Welcome, Claude.
Thank you.
Okay, this is something that I know a lot of people are interested in, but they really don't have the information to get started. Most people have investing through their work businesses, like 401ks, but they really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. All they know is that a portion of their salary goes into this deposit, and somebody somewhere is making decisions on what to invest in and how to make their money. If you want to individually buy stock and invest, what does that mean exactly?
That means you are on your way to, you're looking for avenues to make passive income,
Okay.
right? Somebody who wants to invest, they're looking for ways to make passive income. To If you have money laying around that you're not afraid to lose, you know, instead of putting it in a bank,
Uh-huh.
you prefer, instead of putting it in a bank where you may be earning 1%, even less than that.
Okay.
I don't
Like a
know,
regular bank.
like a regular bank,
Okay.
a regular savings account, checking account. Maybe you might put it in a certificate of deposit. Maybe you might maybe you might earn 3% a year rate of return. But stocks are just well, not easy, but a more riskier avenue to to increase to increase your
The revenue that you're bringing in. Okay, so but you're taking your own money,
your own money.
and then you're going somewhere
Hmm.
to say, take my money and make it grow.
Yeah,
Basically, is that what when you're investing, you're just taking money that you've earned, giving it to an investing firm. Their
yeah.
job is to,
Well, no. Well, said differently, stocks are you're buying shares of a company, whatever company that may be.
okay,
You're buying shares of a company, so you're actually part owner of that company. If you want to take it, you should look at it as if that you actually own shares of the company. And
oh,
if you own enough shares, you have voting control, you have voting power. A lot of us small time investors, we don't own enough shares to have that much voting power where we're making a difference.
Right.
But you actually do own the company. So if you
Oh.
own a share of Nike, like I'm an owner of Nike, owner of Tesla. You
Okay.
can own one share, half a share.
Okay.
But you actually own the company. You're investing um, through you could buy stock through Cash App if you have a Cash App
Wow.
account. There are
Yeah.
other accounts to buy stock. Robinhood is one of them. I used I used to use TD Ameritrade, but now they since merged over with Charles and Schwab. So I have a Charles and Schwab account.
Okay.
Um, so through that account, I I invest money. So weekly, I put about $200 in my account weekly.
Okay.
You know, something I could stomach.
Okay.
A little
Okay.
spending money I throw into my account weekly, so it comes out my check weekly,
Okay.
and it goes into my Charles and Schwab account.
Okay.
Now, it has, the money could stay there, but I don't let, I don't let the money stay there. I actually take the money out and I invest it. I buy shares or whatever it is.
Okay.
And now the way I pick my stocks is just every day what I like to do. I like sneakers, so I look for the best sneaker company, Nike.
So you can just find a stock and
Yeah,
take money and
and
buy
and
shares.
buy shares. Yes, yeah. And the way I pick the stock that I'm buying is, I think about what I like, what my wife uses every day, what do the
Right.
kids do every day, what the new trend is. So I invested in Tesla years ago because I kind of like the idea of clean energy
Right.
and clean cars and clean environments. So I was like, oh, this is a great store, great
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
So that ended up being a great investment. And so, there's really no secret behind what companies you put your money, what stock you're buying. It's really just what what you use. If you look at it like that, and I think you'll find, I think it's a lot easier. It's not as hard as it seems.
Yeah. Well, I think the lack of information for a lot of people, and you very rarely hear any positive news on the news. You always hear, oh, the stock is falling, oh, the stock is dropping. And basically, it kind of intimidates people
Mm-hmm.
into investing because this is money that they've worked hard for.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden somebody's saying, hey, take a portion of that money and take a risk on that money, making more money. Now, as far as the return on investments, does that depend on how much you invest in a
Mhm.
particular stock,
Mhm.
or what are the pros and cons with taking a risk?
Well, it depends. I mean, the return on the investment is the same no matter how much money you put in. You put
Okay.
in $100, you put in $1,000, the stock appreciates 10%. You still get 10%. Obviously,
Okay.
10% on 100 and 1,000
It's different.
there's
Yeah.
a difference.
Right.
So it's all about how much money you're willing to invest.
Okay.
Okay. Um, Stocks, like everything else, they're volatile.
Right.
So you want to do your research and actually, they provide a lot. There's a ton of information available about the stock that you could research and learn about, such as when they have earnings. There are certain periods around the year that they announce certain things,
Uh-huh.
and like one of them being their actual performance
Oh.
after a quarter. That could, depending on how they do
Yeah.
during that quarter, it can dictate how much the stock goes up or down within a
Wow.
day. It could go up 20%, it could go down 10% based on the messaging behind how they did
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
the previous
Yeah.
quarter, and then the outlook. It's always about like what the company has going, has in store. So if you can kind of research that and learn about that, you can,
Yeah.
you can take some risk away
Right.
with the investment. You
Right.
can't take away
Right.
all the risk,
Right.
but there are ways to lessen the risk if you if you do some research and invest in things that
Wow.
like Apple, things
Yeah. Yeah.
things
Yeah.
that are tried and true. You know, don't get caught up. A lot of people get caught up with the amount of shares that they own.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, this company is worth $1 a share, and I could own 1,000 shares. But
Yeah.
you know,
Is that good?
there's a reason why this company is only $1,
Right.
right? So why not own 10 shares of Tesla?
Right.
You know, although it's $160 a share, just you know, but Tesla's a better company, a tried and true company. You know, they have a better
Right.
history. So you gotta
So a lot of it is reputation too. I mean,
with certain stocks, yeah.
Tesla's a huge. I invest in Tesla,
Hmm.
and I look at the earnings every day, and I wonder why does it go up and down? I mean, what's happening to make Tesla go up and down like it does? And sometimes it's pretty drastic,
Hmm.
and and then the next day it's back
It's
up.
back up.
So
It's
what's
back up.
happening?
I mean, it's there's there's a lot of factors. One of them being Tesla's a highly traded stock. There's a
Okay.
lot of volume. There's a lot of shares being bought and sold. So because it's a very popular stock, and they have a very flamboyant CEO,
Oh
which
yeah.
you know you know
Yeah.
his mouth moves the needle a
Yeah.
lot. So you know
Okay. Okay.
so just people like you and me just looking for any bit of information
Yeah.
that can you know that you can, you know, that will help you predict how it's
Right.
going to move up or down. And
Right.
then, so,
Well, and I watch it every day.
hmm.
I mean, my husband and I, we do log. He always gives me advice on, this stock is hot right now,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
so we'll switch up. But I just follow his lead, because I don't know enough about each one of them individually. A
Yep.
lot of them I had never even heard
Yep.
of. But then I look the next day, and it's like, wow, that was a very good choice. I know he does more research than I do, but I would imagine that if you are going to get involved in this,
Hmm.
research is critical. So, and when we come back after this short break, we will go into, for somebody brand new starting out investing.
Hmm.
We'll give them some tips
Hmm.
on how to get started. And it's time for a short break. This is Lady Rachelle of the Are You Ready show. Visit me at RachelleLoganMedia.com and on TikTok at RachelleLogan1. This is Rachelle Logan, WDRB Media, the voice of the community. Welcome back to the Are You Ready show. I'm your host, Lady Rachelle. I am with Claude, and we are discussing stocks and investing. Okay, Claude. Now we know that the young people have a different way of looking at spending money.
Hmm.
Instant gratification. So if we were to speak directly to the younger generation, what would be some tips to them on how they spend their money
Yeah.
and how they prepare for the future?
Yeah. Um, shoot, if I was to go back and talk to myself
Right, right,
when I was, you know, in my early 20s, right out of college, first started out working at
right,
Deloitte
right.
Tax. Don't don't let you know if you have a mission, complete the mission.
Yes.
Right. Funny story with me. So I had some coworkers because this is around the time when I first started working. And my coworkers, they were a little bit older, managers and seniors.
Uh-huh.
I was a lowly associate, and you know, and they were helping me pick 401k plans. Well, not plans, 401k funds to invest my money for the future, like
Right,
long term.
right.
So that right there got me thinking, and they were also investing, and and they used to tell me, hey, you would never get rich working here, even if you become a partner. You know, 20, 30 years from now,
Right.
right? This job would not make you rich.
Okay.
You gotta find other ways to have your money work for you
Right.
while you're not working, while you're sleeping. Your money could your money could be working for you. You
Right.
gotta find investments. One of those ways to make other money is stock market. So so I had that information that that in my head. And I went online back then, and this was TD Ameritrade. I tried to open up a TD Ameritrade account. And as I was filling out the application, there was a bunch of security questions about mother's maiden name, what addresses you used back
Right.
then, stuff
Right.
like that before you could get the account set up. And I answered some of those questions wrong, right? And it said I got a message that said, "Oh, you have to go to a branch and speak to a manager and to get the account open." Did I ever do it? No. I
Oh,
never went to the
wow.
branch. And this was, I'm 23 years old,
Right.
right? It wasn't until maybe 7 years later. Well, not 7 years later, because I was like 23, and it was the financial crisis, '08, and it wasn't until then I was like, and it was easier.
Right.
For some reason, it was easier. It might be because of cell phones and just it was no, it was just easier.
Right.
I was
Right.
actually able to open the account without going to a bank. And
Right. Okay.
The funny thing is, I think I might have opened up the account maybe like in 2012, 2013. So this is after the financial crisis,
Right.
after everything dropped and
Right.
everything sort of went back up.
Wow.
So life lesson to me is that damn, if I would have had the account when I first
Right.
went to open it,
Took
or tried to
advantage
open
of
it,
it,
took
right.
advantage of it, like back
Yeah.
in '05, the information that I got, the advice that I got from my friends,
Yeah.
instead of waiting basically more than 5 years to get an account and start investing, like I wasted all of that,
Right.
you
That
know,
time.
all that time.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, if you have the idea, if you were looking for ways to save money, it's much easier now. So if I was, so if I had the tools that are available now,
Back then.
back then,
Mhm.
I would have done it. So it's so easy, and now with these tools such as Cash App and um, all these other apps,
Right.
so to speak,
Right.
you don't have to buy a full share of anything.
Okay.
You could buy a fraction. You could buy half a share of
And
Tesla
leave it.
and
And leave it alone and
right?
let it
alone.
grow.
Exactly. So
And let it grow.
and you don't need tons of money to get started. You could
Oh.
open up an account with $100, and all these accounts like Robinhood accounts, they actually give you money. They might give you money to open up an account.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about now, but
Yeah.
definitely 2 years ago when all this COVID craze
Mhm.
was
Mhm.
happening, and all these retail investors, all these small
Yeah.
time folks were trading, they were giving people like bonuses to open up an account. So you don't need much money to open up an account, and and it just gets you thinking about the future,
Right.
and then
Because you have 2 children now,
exactly,
and
and then that's something that I could teach
yeah.
to my kids,
Right.
because
Right.
obviously it took me a while to get into investing. Like it took me a while to start investing because my parents weren't investing.
Right.
Well, I didn't know nothing
Right.
about that from my parents.
Right.
I know about
Right.
pensions and maybe retirement plans,
People
but
paycheck to paycheck.
paycheck to
Right.
paycheck.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's something that I'm going to be able to push down to my kids, like, hey, you're 16,
Yeah.
here's an account, do what you want to do with it, here's some money.
Because young people don't think about the future
No.
like we did back in the
Mhm.
day. I mean, we thought about, hey, we have to try to look out for our children because they're going to eventually grow up, and then
Mhm.
this generation is me, 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 me,
It's
me, me,
different.
me,
It's
and
different.
they don't think about the future. This YOLO age. I'm so glad I don't hear that. You only live once, so let's do it right now. I'm glad that kind of phased out because it was causing them to make decisions that they didn't care what happened tomorrow.
Yeah.
So now, hopefully, that the young people are getting jobs that we would never have thought of. They working from home now.
Mhm.
They're online
The
making money.
influencers,
You got
yep.
millionaires working on
Yep.
social media accounts and stuff. So, but it's important that they think about the future and the fact that they will have a family one day,
Mhm.
and they want to look out for them because things could change. A lot of these social media apps may go away, and a lot of them will lose funding that's coming so easily to them right now.
Yep.
We didn't have those avenues of just making money by doing a little dance or something. I mean, I wish, but we didn't have that. So we had to think. I did have a mentor when I first went into the military, which was the best thing that he told me to do. He was a Navy captain and told me about, investing. And I knew nothing about investing at that time, but so I'm glad I took advantage of it. And like I said, now my husband is, very knowledgeable about it. So he always is introducing different stocks to me and different investing opportunities. But for those that don't have anybody that can sit them down and talk to them, or don't have a mentor, listening to you, I hope that they now understand that there is an opportunity out there for them, and to teach even younger people to do it. I know you have toddlers right now, but I'm sure that they will be very, very well versed in investing. I have two children, and they both are aware. They're both, either have 401ks or just individual stocks. And hopefully by the time they get older and, have their own families and stuff, that they will have nest eggs, which is what we used to call it. Right. So, but I thank you for coming. I mean, we could have talked for an hour on this, because there are a lot of people that's taking advantage of this, and a lot of people are making a lot of money, but they're not sharing the information because they want to keep information like that to themselves. So I'm happy that you're here to at least introduce the idea and the topic of investing, and how easy investing really is.
Oh my gosh.
It's not complicated, and like you said, you can start with $100.
Less than that.
Less than that, yeah.
There are penny stocks out there.
Oh my goodness, penny stocks. I mean, as much as people go to the casino, I'm sure that the money that they spend can be converted into stocks at some point. And I'm laughing because they know I'm a casino person. But anyway, that's another story. But Claude, thank you so much for coming. This is absolutely going to be great for the audience, and I hope that my listeners will take this information and start doing their own investing and researching on just basic stocks. I mean, start small, and eventually you'll end up doing some really great things, and the return on investment will really benefit you. So I'm sure that this information has enlightened, uplifted, and educated a lot of people. And if you have any questions about stocks and stuff, please just Google it. I mean, there is plenty of information out there that can get you started, and it's easy as the information sitting there, like Claude just said, in the palm of your hand. And hopefully you will join me next week for another amazing show. This is Lady Rachelle with the Are You Ready show, the voice of the community, WDRB Media. Thank you for watching my channel. Be sure to check out my website, RachelleLoganMedia.com. You can find the link in the description. I also have an online school teaching public speaking, etiquette, and much more. I also wrote multiple books for adults and children that will teach you to become the best version of yourself. Thank you, and see you next time.